Two Rivers Talks is brought to you by Two Rivers BIZSTARTS. Also by Two Rivers Main Street. And by Raleigh Point Economic Advising. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, Two Rivers. This is Todd, and I'm here with my good friend Darla, and you have reached Two Rivers Talks, your connection for all things having to do with Two Rivers, whether it's the arts, the entertainment side, the news side. We have all the fun, all the information, all the things. If you are from Two Rivers, used to be from Two Rivers, but want to come back here, want to be in Two Rivers, and why wouldn't you want to be after all? This is your best place that you can come to find information about all the cool stuff that's happening in our fair city on the Lakeshore. Welcome.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Darla. Hi. How are you? It's been a while since we did a broadcast.
It has been forever, and I'm just glad that we're getting back to, being able to interact and just to do our thing, because I really missed having you around.
And the feeling is mutual.
Thank you.
And I'm coming back from some personal stuff, but have definitely been thinking about the city. I'm glad to be back in TR. And we got a lot of stuff happening. We've got community events galore to tell all of our viewers about today. And I'm eager to jump back in. But we also have a couple of segments, a brand new segment that's called Raider Rap, right? And it's not hip hop music, right? I mean, this is at least the Quistorf we're talking about, right? But it's going to be talking about all things happening in the Two Rivers School District, right?
Right.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Lisa's terrific, and then of course we're going to be visited by our dear friend, Mr. Russove,
Right.
the director of Two Rivers Main Street, doing the Main Street Minute segments. We get these little snappy titles, How's It Hanging, Raider Rap, Main Street Minute,
We're so clever.
We're just too cute for our own good. We're very precious.
I know you're precious, Todd.
You're precious, Darla.
All right. I think we should continue on here. And you know what? I'm going to put you on the spot like I love to do. I would like you to take it away with word of the day.
Take it away with word of the day. Today's word of the day is unctuous. Unctuous. It sounds like it feels. Unctuous is excessively smooth, suave, or smug. So used in a sentence, it would be something like Reginald?
Yeah.
You wrote this, Darla.
I did.
Reginald's unctuous demeanor got on everyone's nerves and made the girls snicker. I could definitely see how they would find Reginald unctuous.
I would just snicker at his name. No offense to anybody out there named Reginald, but I could to me, an unctuous person would probably be a Reginald. So
Unctuous, yes. The only other place I've ever heard unctuous used with any regularity is on cooking shows. This tastes very unctuous.
Yeah, there is a connotation for cooking too, and I always thought that was weird. I always thought it was weird when somebody would say that they were like deconstructing a dish. You want to deconstruct it to reconstruct it using something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, an unctuous dish. I don't know if they mean like a smooth malted milkshake or or maybe perhaps your eggplant was smug. I don't know.
Got a smug avocado on my hand here. Right?
Jeez. Moving on in the news.
Yes.
The Friends of Mariners Trail organization is holding its 15th annual photo contest. The winning photos will be published in the 2021 Mariners Trail calendar. Pictures taken along the Lake Michigan shoreline within the cities of Manitowoc and Two Rivers, including harbor areas, will be considered for prizes and used in the calendar. More than $300 in prize money will be awarded. Proceeds from calendar sales will be used to support the flower beds along Mariners Trail. And put this on your calendar. The deadline for photo submission is September 30th. So we might want to give Jeff Dawson a ring and tell
Yeah.
him, get your photos in, because he takes fabulous
He
photos.
did some amazing work, which is it's all up available on the Leicester Library's Flickr account. If you haven't been there, check it out. There's some amazing photographs there from over the years, going back many years, in fact. I love the fact that that supports the flower beds along Mariners Trail. Those garden plots are so beautiful along the trail. That's such an amazing public value to have those out there. And I just, I think anything people can do to support those is great.
And they're starting to look really nice right now. They're just so beautiful when you're coming into the city. It's really quite breathtaking at times.
People who come from outside of the area and they come in and to have a coffee or whatever with me, they always remark how amazing the landscaping is around here. Just really, really so pretty. In other news, the Wisconsin Maritime Museum is going to be reopening as of June 4th. So it is open.
Right.
As
it just reopened.
Today, it just reopened. Obviously, there's going to be a few changes in the way that it is open because they want to stay in accordance with the Center for Disease Control guidelines and other kinds of health official recommendations. So those include things like social distancing and wearing masks and probably disinfecting surfaces and things like that on a very regular basis. As far as the USS Kobe is concerned, they're only going to be allowing 10 or fewer people on the sub at any given time, and they will be requiring masks for that. And the museum is going to be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day, with the first hour being reserved for seniors and those who have some kind of immune compromised conditions. Sub Pub on the roof deck. I didn't even know about Sub Pub. This is kind of interesting.
We're going to have to go one of these days.
Yeah. Sub Pub on the roof deck opens at 4 p.m. on Thursdays and Fridays and will open at 1 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. This is great news because, over to you, Darla.
The exhibit, Inked into History, will chronicle stories of sailor tattoos. I'm super excited about this.
I wanted to get like a temporary sailor's tattoo and like do that, right now.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been awesome.
You could have done like a Popeye type of thing.
That's
cool. According to Abigail Diaz, who is the director of the museum's education and public programs, sailors are credited with making tattoos visible around the world. Captain James Cook and his crew are often credited with popularizing the trend after they observed the tattoos on the residents of the Tahitian Islands in the 18th century. Even the word tattoo has Tahitian roots. Meaningful dates, initials, and simple symbols were marked on their skin. Gradually, the tattoos became more complex and tied to the maritime landscape. Mermaids, anchors, and fish grew in popularity. There were also symbols that could communicate your position on a ship, where you had traveled, or ward against bad luck on the open seas. For every 5,000 nautical miles traveled, a sailor would get a tattoo of a swallow. A chicken and pig would be tattooed on the feet of the seafarer to protect the individual from drowning. I don't know how a chicken or pig could help you, but
I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, right. I want like little life preservers on my feet.
Yeah, really. And a rope that was tattooed around a wrist would indicate like a deckhand, whereas a harpoon would refer to someone in a fishing fleet. A fully rigged ship tattoo was reserved for sailors who had rounded Cape Horn, and a shellback turtle was for mariners who crossed the equator. So it's really fascinating history. And just so people know, the Wisconsin Maritime Museum is looking for sailors and or landlubbers alike to share their maritime themed tattoo, along with the story of what inspired that person to get that particular, design. And the museum will be featuring different tattoos every week in their social media series called Inked into History. So cool. I'm really excited. I am so excited about this.
I'm fascinated by that. I love the idea of the history of tattoos and what's there. I know that my dad, when he was in the armed services in the 50s, he never got any tattoos, but when he crossed the equator, they had like some kind of ceremony on the ship, and like everybody that was part of that, even though they were Army, the naval officers and that everybody that was the first time across the equator, they got recognized with some kind of paper for it.
Okay.
But I'm fascinated by the icons and the symbols that are used for that. So I wonder if the Maritime Museum is selling any books around that, or if they're doing like temporary tattoos or anything like that. It'd be, I wouldn't
I
be
should
surprised.
find out. Yeah,
Yeah,
because now I've got questions as to why were some of these images picked to portray different things,
right, right.
that the chicken and pig really baffles me.
That's
I'm gonna have to look. I've
wondering.
got to look it up.
Yeah.
So
So the UW system is going to be offering an 11-day free application period for anyone applying to Marinette, Manitowoc, or Sheboygan campuses. This has nothing to do with learning about tattoos, but about learning other really good things. So anybody applying to one of the branch campuses for fall 2020 or the spring 2021 semester, this free application period is going to run just from June 5th through June 15th.
right,
So get it while you
absolutely.
can.
Yeah, take advantage of it. And in the same vein, LTC sees increase in applications after streamlining registration, and that was because it's a result of the coronavirus pandemic. LTC has announced it has taken steps to eliminate barriers in the application and registration processes. The college no longer requires an application fee or a placement test, which is known as AccuPlacer. We are excited to see online applications up 98% this month compared to the same time last year,
Wow.
said LTC Director of Student Outreach Rita Earle in a news release. Eliminating the application fee, and I'm not sure how much it was, but eliminating it is encouraging prospective students to engage with the college without financial hardship, particularly in light of the economic uncertainty that many are currently facing.
That's really cool. It's really nice to see that education is kind of changing its game, based on the pandemic, and both LTC and the UW system have really been making a lot of changes in that process. So good
Right.
on those guys. The Manitowoc Committee has approved Boys and Girls Club usage of the former Miro property. This is another news item here. Mayor Nichols said that the Boys and Girls Club will take control of the half of the property located on Washington Street, which would fill a hole that was left by the building's demolition in 2017. Bill Birch, who's the executive director of the proposed Manitowoc Boys and Girls Club, said it would probably be about a 15,000 square foot facility, and the central location would make that an outstanding place for a club that could serve all kinds of kids in the community, and also be a very visible and also be a site that could serve the county itself. So the details of that agreement still need to be finalized, and an official agreement will be written up with both the mayor and the Boys Club that they'll sign off on, making that proposal a reality. So something nice for the community moving forward during this difficult time. It's always good news.
Oh, right. And I didn't realize it had been that long since that building came down. But I was in Manitowoc today, and on the ride back to Two Rivers, I went past the site, and I already knew that this had occurred. And I was kind of like looking at it, and I was thinking that is going to be a sweet spot
Mm-hmm.
for this organization. So that's exciting.
Definitely.
Um, not not very exciting and kind of sad, but two music festivals, Rock USA and Country USA 2020, have both been canceled due to COVID-19. In a press release, the Hyper Vibe team, which runs these festivals, stated, "We will be back stronger than ever in the near future." In addition, Milwaukee World Festival Incorporated Board of Directors has elected to cancel Summerfest 2020 due to the pandemic, citing an abundance of caution. as the reason for cancellation, and also canceled the 2020 Wisconsin State Fair. So I was looking forward to reporting on fair food because it was really fun last year. So we'll have to wait until 2021 for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, sad to hear that they're not going to do them, but I do applaud them for just being extra careful, through this. And I mean, you don't want to attribute even one person getting sick or dying as a result of being in a big crowd like that. So
Right.
so it just makes sense. So this next piece of news is pretty exciting though. The Clipper City Co-op is getting really, 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 really close to nailing down a decision on their final site selection. I know this has been happening for some time, but I think that they're really going to do it this time. The co-op now has 802 owner members, and so that number's probably changed and is higher by now. They've identified 2 finalist locations they're in active negotiations with the parties involved there. And they're also going to be conducting a national comprehensive search for a general manager very soon. So Clipper Co-op coming to our community. I'm personally very excited about this. We've had them on the show, and they're all about sustainable growing and supporting local farmers, and having fantastic produce. And to my thing, like no slam on the grocery stores of the world, but you can't hold a candle to locally produced food, and crops, and stuff that's sustainably grown versus factory farm grown. It's just more nutritious. It tastes better. It looks better. It's not your imagination. Organic is better. It just you can tell a big difference in the ingredients, and so I'm stoked that they're going to be coming in.
I am too. I'm really looking forward to tomatoes with flavor.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I don't want to be using tomatoes just to make the dish look pretty.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it even more enjoyable. So, did you and Noel join Clipper City Co-op yet?
We did. Yeah.
You did.
We are members. Yes.
Good for you. Us too. We'll have to go down there and go shopping together.
I think that sounds like fun.
On to city info. Yay.
Yay.
Thank you for helping out with that. Two Rivers announces reopening dates for several city entities. And Todd, you and I can take this back and forth. Among the places opening are City Hall, where citizens will be able to access the police department window and customer service window. However, all other offices will only be available by appointment only.
The community house is going to be open on that date as well, with the exception of the senior center. Only the front desk is going to be accessible there.
Right. Shelters at city-owned parks are currently available for booking. The bathrooms at all parks are now open.
And the Leicester Public Library will continue to provide curbside pickup of media and materials. A full opening will occur at earliest July 1st. I think they're waiting also out of an abundance of caution until some of the numbers go down.
Right.
Yep.
And then as far as all other city departments like the water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant, public workshop, those departments are available by appointment only until further notice.
Very good. Very good. The Two Rivers City Council is going to have its next meeting on Monday, June 5th at 6 p.m.
That's the 15th.
I'm sorry, June 15th. What did I say?
5th.
Oh, sorry. I missed the teen. June 15th at 6 o'clock. That's a Monday. City Council chambers, 3rd floor City Hall. Are the council members going to be meeting there in person, or so they're not going to do they're going to do the social distancing thing instead of the Zoom based meeting?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as far as being open to the public, I know we've had discussion, and so, I'm not certain if that's going to be allowed quite yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it is with some, caveats,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to say anything today and then it's wrong. So,
Okay.
but at least the members will be meeting in person.
Yeah. So all you rabble rousing scumbags out there that want to show up in person for the meeting, you just stay in your seats and complain on Facebook for that. I'm just kidding.
Todd,
I'm kind of kidding.
remind me never to get you mad.
Oh, I'm
Oh
like
my
a Chet
gosh.
grizzly bear. So
Oh,
anyway,
and just remember the agenda will be posted online prior to the 15th. Oh, Todd, you need a glass of wine
it's gonna shake
really
up a little bit.
bad.
That's all, you know.
Moving along, this is really super good news.
My
Fourth,
opinions don't reflect those of the management of Two Rivers Talks. Anyway, Craig, go ahead.
and sometimes they might reflect my opinions. But I kind of like to stay as neutral as possible.
I understand. I understand.
Oh dear. Anyway, for some good news, 4th of July fireworks. The show will go on as planned. There will not be any public access to Walsh Field where the fireworks will be shut off, but residents will still be able to enjoy the show from other places in the city. And I think most people can enjoy the fireworks probably from their backyard, you know. So I'm really glad. That would have been kind of demoralizing
Mhm.
to not have it this year. We've missed out on other things. 4th of July is really important, and it has a lot of meaning to it. So, and Two Rivers puts on such a fantastic fireworks show. I know
Mhm.
they're not going to have because nobody's going to be seated at Walsh Field. They're not going to have the ground fireworks. Everything is going to be aerial.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, I think that's still great, and people can enjoy that even from their backyard, having a barbecue or whatever. So
that's right.
we still get to observe that tradition and celebrate together. Something else to celebrate. This is something to make your wallet or pocketbook happy. Two Rivers residents are going to see a drop in their electric rate. On the heels of Manitowoc Public Utilities lowering the electric rate, Two Rivers residents are now seeing a similar decrease. The Two Rivers Electric Utility released their monthly report to City Council, which shows that wholesale purchase cost of electricity is down 6.5% from last year. So energy is provided to Two Rivers by WPPI Energy, the company that supplies power to over 200,000 customers, including those in Two Rivers. So those savings are being passed on to us, the customers, which is great.
Very happy about that.
Mhm.
Um, we haven't really talked about COVID-19 very much. Seems like we're starting to emerge a little bit from the pandemic, and um, but here is something that businesses in Two Rivers and actually within Manitowoc, is it Manitowoc County? Or I think it's just the city of Two Rivers and the city of Manitowoc should be aware of. It's called the Manitowoc Two Rivers Small Business COVID-19 Relief Fund, which is a public-private grant program through the funding efforts of both Two Rivers and Manitowoc, Manitowoc Public Utilities, Bank First, and Investors Community Bank, and in partnership with the Chamber of Manitowoc County. It is designed to benefit locally owned and operated small businesses directly impacted by restrictions imposed on operations during the pandemic of 2020. And just so people know, chamber membership is not a requirement. The relief fund will provide discretionary funds of up to $2,500 for those businesses employing 1 to 4 full-time employees and up to $5,000 to businesses with between 5 and 10 full-time employees. Uh, the business must have been in operation prior to March 1st of this year. Funding will be based on the total of 3 months, January, February, and March, um, for your utilities, rent, and or mortgage payments. As of close of business yesterday, which was June 4th, 24 applications had been submitted from Two Rivers entrepreneurs and 73 applications from Manitowoc. And in addition to this good news,
Yeah, so similar vein, the state of Wisconsin is announcing the We're All In grant program. We're All In is funded by the Federal CARES Act. The state of Wisconsin has announced the We're All In grant, which will provide $2,500 grants to 30,000 small businesses across the state. The grant aims to help small businesses get back on their feet amid the pandemic, while also encouraging them to adopt best practices to keep employees, customers, and communities safe. Eligible businesses must have been in business in February of this year, based in Wisconsin, employ 20 or fewer full-time equivalent employees, including the owner, and have less than $1 million in annual revenues. Application period for this grant opens in mid-June on the WEDC website.
right, and we'll have a link in the show notes for that.
For that down below, yeah.
Two Rivers High School graduates have been celebrated with banners and will have a virtual ceremony amid COVID-19. More than 100 banners showing photos of the senior class can currently be seen hanging off the light poles in downtown Two Rivers, and they're going to stay up until the end of June. This is all thanks to the efforts of Jay Remaker and others who facilitated the project. Jay is a member of the Two Rivers City Council, and he said he was scrolling through Facebook about a month and a half ago when he came across another city doing the same thing. He said he thought it was a neat idea, and once he got permission from the city to move forward, he posted this idea on Facebook, and it got a tremendous response. Said Jay, "My main focus was to recognize the seniors, since they won't have that big ceremony where the community can get together and watch them and recognize their achievement. And we'll go farther into depth as far as the 2020 graduation with Ms. Lisa Quistorf. So you'll have to stay tuned for that."
Ready to wrap, everybody. Bye. Anyways, one more bit of really cool news. Two Rivers Summer Concerts and Movies are on. Yeah.
Cool.
So the Bands on the Beach starts on July 11th with Panic Station. Other scheduled acts include Nash Vegas, Honey Goats, Reality Bites, Copperbox, Nettle Hill, and Stricken. The first outdoor movie is going to be Jaws 2 on July 10th. And also look forward to Field of Dreams, Pirates of the Caribbean's Dead Man's Chest, and Jumanji, The Next Level. So good time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. And some of those movies, they already have them slated to be at Walsh Field. And I think Field of Dreams and Jumanji will be at Walsh Field. Considering our lack of beach, there's a good possibility that some of these bands won't be bands on the beach. They're going to be bands at the field, so there's going to be a little flexibility built in with this, but they will be going on at one location or the other.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame that our beach has been eroded by the lake this year, but hopefully it'll be back down in future years and we'll be back to normal again.
It's crazy.
Yeah, totally crazy. So just two other quick notes. For Two Rivers BIZSTARTS, we are still open. The last month or two have been bad because of some personal stuff. And I wanted to thank, Jeff Soxie and you, Darla, and Roger and Jeff Dawson for being great supporters of that group, along with Keith Lyons. You guys have kind of kept the fire going, and we're looking forward to getting programs going again. All of the BIZSTARTS events are going to continue to be virtual for the time being, mainly because it's a library-based program and the Lester is not open yet. Again, anyways, our next scheduled meeting is going to be at 6 o'clock Wednesday, June 24th. It's going to be a group therapy session for small business owners. Let's talk about challenges you're facing, things you've done to kind of reinvent your business, what ideas you have, what resources you know. Bring them to the table and share those ideas. And we'd love to see you there. It'll be casual, bring the beverage of your choice because, hey, you're going to be in your own home anyways. And
True.
So we'll set up a link with access to that for the virtual meeting. It'll be a Zoom meeting for those of you who speak Zoom. It's not hard.
I think we all do now.
Yeah, I think we do. And then similarly, Two Rivers Business Association, we've been doing Zoom meetings the last 2 months. We're actually not going to have a July meeting. We typically don't have a July meeting. So that's not really driven by COVID, except this year, kind of, sort of. So look for us to get back together in August, and we'll have more regular meeting schedules then.
Okay. And just maybe on our next episode, we'll be back to having the How's It Hanging segment.
Yeah.
I do plan on having the gallery open starting next week. I kind of took my time in reopening it. I had reopened and there was nobody downtown. So it was like, I'm closing up again until we get more traffic. So I will be opening up next week and try to get back to some sort of a decent schedule. And then we'll have the How's It Hanging, So we just got to start pedaling,
Yeah.
So anyway, so that wraps it up for you and I, Todd. And
Another fine mess we've gotten ourselves into.
I'm so used to it. I don't know. I thrive on it now. So anyway, up next is Miss Lisa Quistorf with Raider Rap. So please stay tuned. Bye, Todd.
Bye, Darla.
Hey, Todd, you can take it away.
Hello, everybody. We have a new-ish, I guess, brand new segment. Is it, Darla?
It's really brand new. It's
totally
like a baby.
It's like newborn. It's just a newborn in the world here. We're very excited to be kicking off a new segment called Raider Rap with Ms. Lisa Quistorf, the district administrator of the Two Rivers Public School District. And we're going to welcome her into the chat stream right now. Lisa, why don't you come on in, and we want to hear what's going on with the Two Rivers School District. Come in, Lisa. Lisa, come in. Games. She's back.
I'm back.
All right. Through the magic of editing, we're just going to bring you right back into this.
Okay.
So we're gonna bring Lisa right into the stream as of this moment now. Lisa, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to Raider Rap, the first ever.
I am excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. We want to know all about what's happening with the Two Rivers School District, what the exciting news is this week, what's coming up this June, this summer. Lay it on us. Give us a knowledge bomb.
I think the biggest thing is we wrapped up, actually today is the last day of school. So officially at 12:45 today was the end of the school year. Teachers typically on a regular school year, they continue to close up, their classrooms and shut down everything. And they, typically are done by the end of the day, about 3:30. I know that some of our staff will go into next week because of the virtual and remote learning. It added some different flavors of what teachers needed to do. So this week, what we did is we had our farewells for our fourth graders at both Koenig and McGee, and those were done virtually. And then what actually they took place last week, and they had the fourth graders then come on Saturday, and then they picked up their farewell bags. They get a little gift bag that includes their year and into L.B. Clark, so they have a little bag to take them into the next year. And it gave the staff an opportunity to wave goodbye. We had staff there. Of course, they were social distanced. And the bags, of course, when we hand anything off, because school buildings are still closed at this time, they wear a mask and they wear gloves. And so they handed those items off. This week, our elementary teachers, that would be kindergarten through third grade, delivered bags to every student for the summer. So they gave them a book to read during the summer that either was donated from different groups within our city. I know that the Rotary Club helps with Koenig's books. We're a reading is fundamental district where our students do get free books throughout the year. So they were all given a free book at the end of the year. And then teachers put some gifts and trinkets in there along with their end of the year summary. Very different from a report card. What it did is it provided some feedback on what took place and what they could work on for the summer and then get them ready for next year. And then our high school will actually get their report cards mailed. All the middle school classes did a drive-through, so they picked theirs up as well. And then the seniors, tomorrow is a very big day. It's our Hope Train, our graduation Hope Train that's leaving the Lighthouse Inn at 2 p.m., which is going to be a beautiful day. I think about all the challenges that happened and everything that really caused us to have more time as the educators, as the professionals of the planning and the organizing and contacting of students and staff, and for me, teachers and legislators, and all that time that comes in, the good things that have come out about that is something that's going to happen tomorrow. So we have our beautiful banners that are on Washington Street, so our students will each student is given one car, so they will be in their cars with their families. They'll line up, and we're doing it by alphabetical order. They'll start out with our school liaison officer, which is our school resource officer, which is Officer Jason Zipper. And he will start them out, and then they will take Washington Street, take a right on 22nd, and then take a left on Lincoln Avenue and drive out to the high school. Now, the high school event is private, and that is because our building and grounds are still closed, but the public does have an opportunity to wave a congratulations to our seniors. I'm anticipating that our streets will be lined tomorrow on Washington Street, 22nd Street, and on Lincoln Avenue, really giving them a good send-off. They're going to have their cars decorated, and I think just the challenges of everything that this class has lost with that semester, if we look at proms and sports and our state competitions, whether it's forensics or solo ensembles, that they have lost, the sports, the dances, so they haven't had the opportunities. I think just even the opportunity of never really be able to have closure with their friends. We left on March 13th, which we had started our spring break. We were having an in-service day, and then the spring break started on that Monday. So they never really had the opportunity to say goodbye, where some schools, first closed on that Tuesday. So they had the Monday to wrap up and say goodbye to their friends. We never had that. Our seniors, I'm going to be honest, are a pretty amazing group. I think, when you're in education, every grade and every group builds their own traits through the years. And this class, from kindergarten to senior year, I think there are some things that stand out. One, they're a very strong leadership class, so they have a lot of leaders in there that really have made some amazing things happen. Then there's very, very kind. And I think when we look at one of our seniors, who's Cody Lewis and was fighting cancer, that class came together and not only supported him, but brought our entire community together in a strength and togetherness that actually I've really never witnessed in my almost 30 years in being in this district. And so you look at that ability, and now, Cody is in good health. He's going to be there tomorrow, which is a wonderful sign. And the class is going to be there tomorrow to be able to celebrate. And what'll happen when they get to the high school, we're going to have them drive to the north end and then drive around the back of the high school, which is going to get them off the road, and it'll have them all on our property. And then each car will pull up in the front of the school. Our associate principal, Brian Gallagher, will be there. He will direct them out. The graduate can get out of the car. We have a photographer that's going to be there. They will stand on the stage, their name will be read, and they will get their picture taken with Mr. Ristigan, who's celebrating his last year as the high school principal. And then they'll get back in their car, they'll park in the front lot, and then every student will go through that, get their names read, and at the end, Jamie Salta, our board president, will announce that they are the graduating class of 2020. We will have police there on both the entrance and the area to block where the traffic will go out, just so that it maintains that it is a private event. And then, of course, they'll do their sirens and their air horns, and well, we'll have a big celebration. We'll play our school song, and that will be the end of the event for tomorrow. And then on Sunday at 2 p.m., you can tune in to either our website, which is www.trschools, or you can go to our Facebook page and you can see the entire graduation in its entirety, from our valedictorian speech, Rosie Ale, to our senior singers, the band, and then all the presentation of the pictures that we've seen from Saturday will be integrated as well.
Okay. Could I get your permission to include that link in this broadcast?
Sure.
Because by the time this drops, tomorrow will have happened.
Oh, nice. And so
then
you'll be able to drop it right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So then that way, people can just go down to the show notes and just get a link to what you're talking to, your event. And I think that would be, I'm looking forward to it. I'm right off of Lincoln Avenue. And you said 2 o'clock tomorrow, right?
2 o'clock tomorrow. I think it's very exciting. And I think the one thing that now that businesses are starting to open up and places are opening up, people are doing a pretty good job of making certain that they're social distancing, and when we think of, a family can be together because they live together in a house. So when they stand on a corner, they can stand together. Sometimes people will comment and say, well, there is no social distancing there. Well, if they live in a household together, they don't need to social distance. And so we look at that, and I think of the area from the high school out to, from the lighthouse to the high school, that's really a long area. So there's plenty of opportunity for people to stand on the road and watch. And I also believe it's something that will continue. I think that it's going to bring some new tradition. I always like that word tradition because it starts with a capital TR. And because we are TR, it's true to tradition. And so with our banners that will continue, we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to probably operate it very similar, asking for donations. That worked out very well. And we have the beautiful banner entering the city. And that was actually a cooperative event, a cooperative program with the city and with the school district. And we did it together. It's a nice way to enter the city. And our graphic arts teacher, Travis Klein, designed that banner. And so it worked out very well. So I think, having that, the last day of school that we're wrapping up, I think we all need a week off. We're taking a week off of, we're not providing lunches next week. It's the only week that we are not providing lunches since we have been out of our school buildings. And so our staff really has been working diligently in providing that every day for our kids. But then we'll return to doing those lunches on the 16th of June, which is that Monday. And they'll continue to do those as long as we can afford it. There's some funding that comes in that allows us, that it isn't a cost to the district. I know that there's some people that have also donated money that helps. And so it allows us to continue to offer that through the summer. And it's something that, we were doing about 500 lunches a day, which is a really nice service. Anyone under the age of 18, we've been providing lunches for. We did some deliveries. We started in March, but now for summer, because it's nice and because there are 2 locations, both Koenig and McGee, they're both close enough that people can either bike or walk to. So we won't do deliveries for the summer. The expectation is for everyone to pick up their lunches.
Okay, that's really nice. I had absolutely no idea that many lunches were served. That is amazing.
And what they also do on Friday is they provide a meal Not every Friday, but it's always, first come, first serve until they run out. And I believe that usually does about 200 or 300. And it may be like hamburgers or chicken nuggets or maybe some salad or items like that that they can use for bulk meal planning over the weekend or anytime that they want, really. And so that's a nice addition.
It's wonderful. I did want to say too that Mr. Klein did an awesome job on that banner. I think it's gorgeous. And I was just in Manitowoc today, and it's so eye-catching when you come back into the city. It's so bright and cheery, and it just makes you proud, when you see that. And I'm just glad that the city was able to participate in that and, help make it happen.
Make it a joint effort. And that's, I think, the beauty. I think when you look at things that have happened that are positive, building those relationships and strengthening them within our community. We know, especially now, even though COVID and things are still starting to open up, there's still that it's still here. I think the unrest in our country also is very concerning. So when you look at the positives and what you can bring, and you look at a group of kids that show that kindness and leadership and support for each other, it's a beautiful thing. And there's that whole hope that they are the future, and hopefully we'll continue to make some positive changes along the way.
Well, Lisa, I asked you to blow our minds with all the awesome stuff that's going on, and you've more than surpassed any of expectations that I had for that. Really terrific news, and like you were also proud of our graduating seniors, as well as all the students who've gotten through a difficult school year, and our congratulations to the teachers and staff that have made all that possible, and all the people that bring lunches to students around the area. An amazing update. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I agree. I think that we have, I'm very proud. I'm proud to serve in the role, even though it was the most challenging time I've ever had in education, of our students and our families and our teachers and our community. It wasn't the easiest thing. We survived. I think that's something that you always can look back at, and you can look at how do you grow and become better. So thank you.
I do have one quick question, and that is, what are the plans for summer school? Because I know you have like remedial is always something that you want. So how is that working this year?
And this is very different. And this is probably one of the biggest concerns that I have in education is the digital divide. So we have families that, of course, have access to everything, the internet and everything that they need. And then, of course, we have some students that don't. And so those students, because they received packets via the postal mail or packets delivered. So what we're doing for summer school, it'll start on the 15th of June, and we will have it for 2 weeks. And what each teacher has is they have a list of students that either struggled or we weren't able to make good contact for them. And what they will do is that small group is their responsibility. So it could be that going to the house, dropping off materials, even doing some social distancing learning and teaching at the home, maybe outside in the yard, if that's what needs to take place. But then the goal is, how do we help them, really grow from we'll have them from that 2 weeks. We'll take a week off for July, for the 4th of July. We'll take off that 1 week, and then we'll have another 2 weeks in July where they'll be meeting for summer school. That's something very different than we've ever done before. We're looking at possibilities of opening something up in August where we're able to bring small groups in, especially I think when we look at those kindergartners, the future kindergartners, the future 5th graders for Clark, and the future 9th graders for the high school, to be able to bring them up in small groups and give them the opportunity to visit the schools and see what they're like, meet some teachers. And it would be, of course, over time in small groups in the safer way that we can make that happen and give them that opportunity to connect with school.
That's awesome. You guys all did an outstanding job in this difficult time, and I really applaud your efforts and your creativity for making this actually work out. So you guys did a bang up job. So thank you to all the teachers and the school district staff and you, and you kind of made us proud too. So thank you.
Thank you. It's a good partnership.
So I think that wraps up our very first ever Raiders Wrap. I think it was terrific. Lisa, I think the only challenge for you is how you're going to top the next one on the show.
Yeah, things happening all the time in our district. So I look forward to it.
I'm sure you won't disappoint. All right, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. But once again, Lisa Quistorf, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Lisa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome, everybody. We are at one of my favorite segments of the show, which is where we're greeted by Mr. Roger Russove, the director of Two Rivers Main Street, and we call this little ditty of a segment the Main Street Minute. Welcome, Roger. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too also. After a few months of doing this via recording, it's nice to talk to you again.
We've welcomed you back into the warm hug, which is our fellowship on Two Rivers Talks.
Who's in the middle?
I'm thrilled to be here.
It's kind of a love sandwich, Darla, you know.
Hey, keep it PG. Hi, Roger. Are you sure that you're glad to be back?
It's awesome to be back here.
I
I know.
just like to see if I can make Roger blush. That's all. Or Darla. Actually,
Lord.
It's a good day. Anytime
I
I
haven't
can do blush. So
I haven't had any beer yet today, so the odds are better.
Oh my gosh. So Roger, what is going on?
A lot actually. And I'm gonna start with the car show, which I know we've talked about. The Cool City Classic Car Show and Cruise has been moved to August 14th and 15th. So the cruise will go on as normal, starting in Manitowoc and come downtown on Friday night. And then the show will go on as normal on Saturday. But we added something new that is actually going to happen on June 26th, which was the original date of the cruise. We're going to be doing what we're calling a Cruise for a Cause on Friday night, June 26th. Lineup will start at 5:30 at Two Rivers High School. And this is going to be a very short and sweet lineup thing. We're going to ask people to please stay in their cars. And then at 6 o'clock, the cruise will leave there and just follow Highway 42. So go down Lincoln to 22nd, take 22nd over the bridge, and then turn left and go down Washington Street to 16th. The goal in doing this is really to get people downtown. At the end of the cruise, if the people with the cars choose to park somewhere and stop somewhere for a drink or have dinner or do some shopping, that's great. We're hoping to have spectators particularly on Washington Street, but all along the route to look at the cars and things like that. But we're also doing this as a donation drive, pardon the pun, for TREP.
I get it.
It took me a minute. It took me a minute, but that was pretty good.
Oh, that's what I was told last night at our car show meeting too. So the week prior will be people that are participating in the cruise will be able to drop non-perishable food or cash donations off at the Napa store, Ball Auto and Truck Parts here in Two Rivers at the corner of 16th and Adams. And they'll collect those there, and then Brad will bring those and his truck out to the high schools. So people participating in the cruise, we're going to ask them to bring, again, a food donation or a cash donation for TREP out to the beginning of the cruise, and we'll collect those and take them over to the pantry. And we really decided to do it for three reasons. One was to help TREP. The second one, as I mentioned, was to get people downtown. Because I think that as we move into the next phase of the coronavirus, I think that's an important thing to do, is just get people in the habit of coming back to downtown Two Rivers. And then the third reason really is that these guys that own these cars like to show them off. And I don't know that there's a car show going on in Wisconsin before August 1st. And this gives them a safe opportunity to show their car off to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Right. And that's nice, especially if you only get your vehicle out just for a couple of weekends during the year. This is nice because people are very proud of their vehicles, especially those that actually did the work themselves. I am not one of them. I've got a car, but I didn't do anything. But I get to reap the benefits. So I think
there's nothing wrong with that.
I have it on my calendar. I plan on participating in that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And it's again, it's made for a lot of these people, it might be the first opportunity they have to take their car out and show it. And again, let's get people back downtown.
Sounds good.
Very nice, Roger.
All right.
What other news do you have to share with us today?
Well, we actually, this will kick off on Monday. Hope to start it sooner, but there were a few legal issues with it. We're starting a shopping contest, and we're calling it Business as Unusual. And basically, what we're asking people to do is, the phase one of this will start on Monday, June 8th, and run through Sunday, June 21st. Phase two will start on Friday, June 26th, and run through Sunday, July 12th. We're asking people to visit 3 different Two Rivers businesses and spend $25 or more at least 3 Two Rivers businesses. And what they'll need to do then, after they've completed those 3 purchases within a specified time frame, is supply their receipts and their contact information to Two Rivers Main Street. And they can do that a number of different ways. They can put everything in an envelope and mail it to us. They can take a picture of their receipts and text it to us along with their contact information. And there will be posters about going out on Monday for this, and all of the numbers to text to and everything will be on our Facebook page and our website. They can do the same thing, take a picture or something and email it to us. Or they can drop everything off at Schrader's. Schrader's is going to be a collection point for that stuff. So like I said, phase one will last until June 21st. And then on the 26th in the morning, we'll hold our drawings. We'll be giving away a total of $1,250 worth of Cool City cash. We'll have a $400 prize, a $250 prize, and 6 $100 prizes. Co-sponsored, by the way, by Two Rivers Main Street. The Two Rivers Business Association is a partner in this, as is the City of Two Rivers. So we'll hold those drawings then. And then, like I said, phase two will start on June 26th. So people, if they're participating in the Cruise for a Cause or they're downtown, they can start buying and collecting receipts that night. The buying period for that one will go until July 12th. And then on July 17th, we'll have the drawing for phase two.
Very nice.
Nice. So you're going to be bringing the posters around then on Monday?
On Monday, yes. Yep.
I'm opening up this coming week, so drop one off by me.
I will do that. Great, thank you. And like I said, all of the information will be on our website at tworiversmainstreet.com. If people have questions, our that website address and the office phone number will be on the poster. So if somebody has questions, they can call the office too. And for purposes of entering the contest, any Two Rivers business is eligible. It's not just Main Street businesses. We just want to get people out into businesses again. So any business in Two Rivers, any receipt from any business in Two Rivers can qualify. $25 or more, 3 different businesses for each different phase.
Nice.
Yeah, we're excited about that too. Again,
who came up with the name?
I stole it.
Good steal. I like it.
I took a class last week, 3 days, 7 hours a day on Zoom last week for 3 days straight. I finally not seeing cross-eyed about how to turn businesses into destinations. And there was a gentleman in the class from Fort Collins, Colorado, and they were starting to promote their downtown businesses, and they came up with the business as unusual line. And I asked him, I said, "Can we steal this?" And he says, "Well, I don't care."
Outright theft is the sincerest form of flattery. So there you go.
Well, and I asked.
You did. No, that's
awesome.
wonderful. It's a great title, and I think it should play well on the posters and hopefully get a lot.
Again, the hope is that people get downtown and visit Darla's shop again and visit all of the other great businesses we have, not just downtown, but all over Two Rivers.
You're here. Yeah.
So what else you got for us, my dear?
Oh Lord. Well, something popped up a couple weeks ago. There's been a lot of discussion where my office is here at City Hall about ways to help bars and restaurants because they're trying to separate people and ways to create more space. So there's been a lot of discussion about beer gardens and outdoor dining. And one of the things that I've been working on, frankly, for about 4.5 years since I started this job, is to get some picnic tables in Central Park. So that's one of the things that we've kind of taken on and are trying to get done this summer yet. And we tried it once, I want to say 3 years ago, and there were some issues with it that some people weren't comfortable with, and it was just the green picnic tables that are used in all of the parks. And we're looking to do something now that's both better looking and more permanent. So this process would involve pouring concrete pads wherever we determine these will go in the park, and then get a more permanent type of picnic table that'll sit on those pads. It'll be easier for the maintenance people to cut around them and things like that. And there's something that'll look nicer, be more user friendly. And hopefully it'll encourage people to, if they don't want to sit in a dining room at a restaurant, to go into a restaurant and get some food. It'll give them a place inside the park to sit down and enjoy lunch with family or friends or something like that. And get some more use out of Central Park, because it's a gorgeous park and a gorgeous location downtown, and it just needs the more ways to utilize the space.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, Roger, it seems like our time together flies away all too quickly. Seriously, you're really fun to talk to. We're glad you're able to come and join us on the show every episode, and your updates are always really good. I always learn things that I didn't have any idea about before we have the conversation. So thank you as always, sincerely, and we'll look forward to hearing your next installment about what's happening here in our fair city.
Sounds good. Thanks again, and great to see you.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks a lot, Roger. And it is good to be back with you.
Absolutely.
In person.
Yes. So. Yeah. Well, kind of.
I know.
Virtually.
Yeah.
You're such a Roger. All right. So.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye all.